Today, I'm going to do a little install video on Can Am secondary rollers for the 2-roller style clutches before we get too deep. Hunterworks belts, best belt on the planet. Really been happy with our belt on our own Can Am Defender. It's been pretty amazing, so check them out. All right, so we have new rollers. This ain't the roller, just one in a box here. But new rollers for the Can Am secondary clutches. Mostly the 2-roller style. Has been failing a lot, so this video is just basically a how-to video. We got a video telling you more about the rollers on an explanation video, but this is an install video. So hopefully you got a Hunterworks spring compressor, and you're going to take your secondary off your vehicle, turn it upside down, put it on your compressor, bell, spacer, and our handle. All right, so once the handle's down, you're not doing any compressing. You're just simply getting it down and hold it in place. You're going to take a T40 Torx bit and remove all 4 screws. Okay, take the pressure off spring. These secondaries do have an arrow on all the parts so you can keep it all lined up. But if you want to make it even easier, you can take a Sharpie, put a black mark on all 3 items so you can get your alignment back straight. Must go back the way it comes apart. I wouldn't be surprised if you'd find some that's not even put together correctly, but they do need to be lined up. All right, set your parts to the side, and I'm going to take my helix spring, set it to the side. First thing you're going to do is knock out the roll pins that are locking the little pivot shaft in. They call it a stud. It's locking it in place. You'll knock it completely out. We give you more roll pins. So you're going to take a 1/8" roll pin punch and knock this pin completely out. All right. Sometimes your punch gets stuck in the hole. Pull it out. All right, we got it knocked out. I'm gonna pull mine completely on out. All right, then you're gonna switch to a T27 Torx bit, and you're going to remove the stud. Can't remember which one I did. I believe this is it. All right. There is a little black washer here. Don't lose it. Set it to the side, take your old roller out. This one actually already had our roller in it. It's probably about take 226 on this video because it's hard to do a video and talk at the same time. But here's an OEM roller. Take it out, slide the Hunterworks roller in, and put your stud back in with your washer on it. There's no need for Loctite because it locks in place with that roll pin. Okay, so put your roller in here. Get started by hand. I'm sure there's a torque spec on this. I'm not big on torquing a lot of stuff. It seems like we get into more trouble. I'm a finger control guy with my impact. Now the thing about that is you can't see, and there's no way for you gonna be able to see it, but you gotta line the hole up in the clutch with the hole in the pin. And so you're going to be looking through it. I'm not quite there. Maybe a regular tool would be easier. Perfect. Then take your brand new roll pin and put it in from this side. Now I've done it several ways. It's kind of hard to hold. Well, there it went. It went on down in there, the first part by itself. I take my roll pin punch. Goes down in there. Back smooth. Got our new roller in. All ready to go back together. So take your helix spring. Make sure this came out with it. Set it back. All right, so now the placement of your helix. We got an arrow. When I'm doing my assembly, I like to put my arrow over to the right side. So I set it to the right. Take my clutch with my arrow on the bottom. Take it to the side, and I will say all these fingerprints and all this on this clutch, this is just a test clutch here in our shop. It'd be good to use some brake clean and a clean rag and clean these surfaces up and keep your fingers off of them. All right, then you take your second half, once again with an arrow. We're all doing it over to our right, making sure everything lines up. Bell on the spring compressor goes back on. Grab our handle, and here's where actual compressing is going on. All right, here we go. You look down through there and line these holes up in the helix and this clutch, and until it bottoms out, and then don't turn it any tighter. There's no need in it. And actually, sometimes I don't get it completely down because until you get these screws in there, because you're going to have to move it around a little bit. Now, if you want to use some blue Loctite, you certainly can right here. I believe this is 243 Loctite, but blue. Put on your bolt and get each one of these started. While I'm doing this, I'm going to tell you once again, these has going to have a torque value on them. I don't torque them. How you going to hold it, etc., etc. People mess up heads of bolts, and you know, I've got this Milwaukee as a setting. I put it on number 2, not the strongest number 3, and I just don't hammer home on it. And we've never, ever stripped a bolt out here with it. All right, so we got them all started by hand. You want to go ahead now until it bottoms out. You can feel it. There it is. Start on one side. Get it just kind of snug for now. Come to the other side. I do this pretty regular. I try to use a T27 where a T40 should go. So we're going to leave that in the video. Don't do that. All right. Then we can come back to the first side. Now we're good. Okay. Come to this one. And the opposite. And the second one you did. All right. Take your handle off. All right, there you go. 2 brand new rollers. One thing that I will tell you that you got to make dang sure about this arrow on this side. Now, granted, when you're done, the arrow does not exactly line up with this, but there are 2 slots on this helix. One of them is the actual upshift and back shift angle, and the other one, it goes around this piece of metal, and that's why it's very important to make sure your roller goes back in the correct slot on the helix. But told you, that's going to be real easy as pie. Hunterworks belt, best rollers on the planet, and I appreciate you guys. If we can help you at all, let me know.